Welcome everyone to Train Simulator Pro USA. And I know it's been a while, and for good reason too, guys. I haven't deliberately been ignoring this game. Well, I kinda have. But lately I've been receiving some questions about let me actually go here. Like the achievements, the assistance, like a free ride and assistance. I honestly do not have a clue what those means, you guys. I am sorry. That's kind of like why I was putting this off until an update came out explaining assistance a little bit more, or when something happened. But I've honestly haven't received, I haven't been checking the Play Store daily. When I mean daily, I mean every single day to see if this game has updated, and it has not been updated since November of last year. So I honestly don't have any answers for you guys for the assistance and the free ride achievements. I'm sorry, but that's basically how it is. And if you're not familiar on the not Washington, Maryland and Western Pacific Railroad, that's their name, we have unlocked every single locomotive in the game. We have the Eco Ranger, the PS44, a GPE38, an F40, a Charger unit that sadly derailed, but we were able to fix it, some RC44s, some P40s, hold on. And we also have our F unit, which has been giving us some trouble. But when we first started out with the DEM59P and the GP7. They have served us well when we started our passenger runs, but we have expanded. We certainly have expanded. And we now have every freight car in the game. We added some new ones to our collection. We have some coil cars, some gondolas, wire cars, bulkhead flat cars, sunroof superliner, a metal car for like vehicles and tanks. That'll be interesting to see. But let's do a good old food mission. We're going to have the P40s in the lead, and then the E38 unit. Alright, loading up. It's been quite some time. I think it's been way too long. We do build trains a little bit differently than what the game is telling us. All for good reasons. But the Maryland and Western Pacific Railroad is not in any relation to the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad, two different railroads that I own. Well, I own the Maryland and Western Pacific Railroad, and I work on the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad. And there's our heritage unit of the Utah and Arizona. We bought them out. They originally worked in Oregon, but they were really struggling. And same with the Maryland and Southern Railway. And so we bought them out, and we've been thriving ever since. We're making millions of dollars every day. We're actually one of the more safer railroads, too, for being a Class 2. We're one of the more safer railroads. And out of all of our history, we've only had one derailment. One was because the charger lost control of the brakes, and the second one was someone deliberately trying to intentionally derail the train. Alright, hold on everyone, be right back, guys. Alright. Maryland and Western Pacific, 8513. Clear to proceed to Kenwick Train Yard. Take it ahead, boys. Sun's going down. Means it's probably going to be a night run. And for those who are curious, this is what the inside of the PC44 looks like. Even though it says on the... This is actually its true identity, 8135. Did we just pass through a signal? Oh wow. Are the cap lights on? Yeah. And it has its own map to show us, you know, what's what, where we actually are. It's a white arrow. None of the locomotives have bells in this game like they do on the short line, the Lakeland and Black Valley. But I like my Class 2 railroad that I own better than the Lakeland and Black Valley. Not gonna lie, I do love the Lakeland and Black Valley, but it's just so mountainy for me. Unlike the Maryland and Western Pacific Railroad, you actually have towns. And there's a rail fan at the house. But getting back to a point that I was making earlier, I love the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I really just don't like how it's all mountains. Like, there's hardly any scenery, like, going through the towns. It's just the same old blah. And I'm not gonna lie to you, we're probably the more safer Class 2 railroads. I mean, other than probably the Baltimore and Chesapeake Railroad, which I haven't heard ever receive a derailment before. But in like the couple of weeks I've been working on the Lakeland and Black Valley, there's already been 3 derailments over like the year and a half to 2 years I've been working on the Maryland and Western Pacific Railroad. And we've only had 1 derailment. Part of me is thinking is that the owners of the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad are wanting me to purchase it instead of just work there, which I can understand too. I mean, they are struggling since they're a Class 3 short line and the only main import and export is coal, but still. I'll have to have a group meeting with the owners of the LMBV Railroad and the M&WP Railroad, and we'll have to come to a discussion table, which probably won't happen for about a couple months, but and another thing I would like to point out is that the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad, it's all single track, with yes, some exceptions to sidings. So really you can only run 1 or 2 trains at a time with the waiting at the junctions. And that's just bad planning in my eyes. Because how are you going to have a passing train that needs to go to the same area that you're going or coming from, and you're at a standstill because one track's single and you have to drag like your entire mile-long train all the way up to the other point of the switch, and then have to reverse the train after the other train passes. If you ask me, the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad should just operate 1 train at a time. But even then, that'll cause them to lose more money. I think they're in the process of trying to find ways to keep money to keep the railroad open. But this is just my view on like some of the mistakes the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad made, apart from the stuff that we do. Because I'm just going to pause it right here and show you the map from Portland Train Yard in Oregon there's a river that separates between Washington and Oregon. The entire main line from Portland Train Yard all the way to Everett Station is double track, and from, say, like Vancouver. Let me find the Vancouver. Yeah, there are some exceptions to the single track, but just hear me out. From Vancouver all the way to Kennewick is double track with some exceptions, and then between Kennewick all the way to Olympia is double track, and then after, hold on, let me zoom in. There is a long stretch of siding track here, but from like this junction where Joseph Food Factory is, all the way to Kennewick Wood Factory, it's double track, so that way two trains can pass each other if needed. And all the way down to here to the Ontario side of things is all double track as well, hence the thicker white lines. Yes, there are some like single tracks like right here, and then obviously to Spokane and all that. That's all single track with some exceptions. And same thing to Kettle. That's all single track. And then it's single track from here on out all the way to Wanachia. Then there's a junction here that's all single track here. Then it keeps being single track until you reach Everett Station, where the track then becomes two again. So yeah, we do have some exceptions of single track, but for good reason. And like on the single track lines, like where the Wanachia yard is, two trains, one heading to Seattle, one heading all the way to Spokane, etc. On the double track, we run like 4 or 5 trains a day, and then like 3 at night. Same with the passenger trains. So, I mean, they really need to learn from us. Like, here's a good example. We could pass the passenger train that's heading to Beijing Station, and if this line was in double track, then we would have to wait at the junction for the coal mine and let the passenger train pull in, and then we would have to pull forward, and then the passenger train will have to back out of the coal mine and then continue going on. And that's just poor planning in my eyes. And we got another one of our fallen flag units, the Utah and Arizona. But we do run train after train a lot on our double track line. And that track right there is double track, but then it converges to single track after a while. Wait, hold on. Let me check the map. Double, double, double. Double, double, double. Double, 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 double. Yeah, it's double track all the way up until, like, the Bend Chemical Factory. And then to the train yard, then it becomes double again. Double, double, double. Then it becomes single track towards the junction, where we have the Devil's Curve. If you see my previous videos on it, you will know why it's called the Devil's Curve. And it is double track, but look at all these bends though. That's why it's called the Devil's Curve. Then goes to single track for that switch, double track for a little bit, as like a siding, then it merges back into single all the way for the rest of the journey. But you get what I'm getting at. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Turn on my headlights because it's getting dark. We're only required to use the bright headlights when it's night and raining. And when it's raining, all headlights must be on every time. But in reality, I only drive trains when they're needed to be helped out. Like, for this long train. Because really, the crew, the employees on the Maryland and Western Pacific really handle their jobs well. And our passenger service we call Go Track. We don't ask me why, but we call our passenger service Go Track. We go right on time on the tracks. That's why it's called Go Track. Like, a lot of people had doubts on our passenger service, but it says for them, the results speak for themselves. And there's an empty coal train heading to Beijing power plant that actually just came from Kenwick. C-84. I don't know if they updated it in the last update in November, but the sunsets are just so gorgeous. Like, let me zoom out. The sun's completely set behind the mountains. Like, see, look, we're running train after train, literally right behind each other, and they're not crashing. The charger units are the express ones, and the P40-2s are the local runs. And I just got word that RC-44s are leaving an acetone train from Vancouver Chemical Factory through the Devil's Curve. Hold on. Through the Devil's Curve all the way to Bend Chemical Factory. Don't ask me why. How? And here we are in the town of Kenwick. And one thing that separates us from the Lakeland and Black Valley Road is that we actually have speed limits. Like, yeah, we're allowed 5 over, but no more than that. And another thing is that we're required by law to blow our horns. And the Lakeland and Black Valley Railroad, there's no whistle board or anything. Granted, there's not one on us, but the game tells us to. Like, see, the horns are blowing, or flashing red. Also, by the way, everyone, since this mission is over, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. For if you have any questions on this game, I'll do my best to reply immediately. But if you have any questions concerning this game, I probably have more knowledge on this game than anyone. Ooh, oversped a little bit, but the game didn't penalize me. That's good, but I probably have more knowledge on this game since I have 6 seasons out of this game. So if you have any questions on it, leave it down in the comments below. But also make sure to hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 400 subscribers. I personally want to thank everyone so much for all the support over the years. It really means a lot to me. I honestly never thought I would reach 100, but here we are today. So if you enjoy my content and you keep coming back, and if you aren't subscribed, why not? It's free, and you can always change your mind later. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode on Train Simulator Pro USA, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good night, stay warm, and be safe.